All right. So we ranked some offenses according to CBS. Well, let's rank some defenses. How about that?
Let's do it.
They did this a little differently. This
Tiers?
is by no tiers.
No tiers.
This is kind of like superlatives. Most unlikely, somewhat unlikely. What are the other? Possibly and most likely to end up in the top 10 in our favorite stat, DVOA.
Oh, love DVOA.
Defensive DVOA. So we know the Bears, by the end of the season, were close to the top 10 in defensive DVOA.
Yep.
And it was because of turnovers and whatnot, not because of scores of games, but mostly because of their turnovers. So the most unlikely to be in the top 10 is obvious: the Cardinals, the Broncos, the Chargers, all unlikely to be in the top 10.
Makes sense.
Somewhat unlikely: Falcons, Panthers, Lions, Colts, Rams, Vikings, Saints, Giants, Seahawks, Bucks, Titans, and Commanders.
Which group is that, though? How do they term it?
Somewhat unlikely.
Okay. I might push back on the Lions a little, believe it or not. I mean, they tried at least, but I guess, like, what does Mac always say, Yerk? Don't confuse activity with accomplishment.
Yes.
I mean, they've definitely went to work on trying to fix the defensive backfield, and if they can get production, now you're going to have to get it out of young guys. But boy, it's got to be better than last year. I mean, the coverage numbers, they've turned to Kindle Vildor and Sutton was bad. I mean, they were terrible down the stretch last year. So I don't know. I might say maybe Detroit could be sneaky good, but all right, it's probably a good slot to have them like somewhat unlikely.
They gave up a lot of points last year,
and they couldn't stop anybody with their pass defense.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next tier, if you will, could possibly make the top 10 in DVOA. The Bengals, the Packers, the Texans, the Jags, the Dolphins, the Patriots, who were very good last year.
Very good.
And the Eagles, who kind of fell off a cliff last year.
But I could buy it. I could buy them getting back. I could buy Patriots. Miami, I'm not so sure because Miami lost a lot.
I think the Jags made some improvements. It'll be interesting to see the Jags defense play.
We still haven't heard the Bears' name, though.
Somewhat likely, the Bills. So this is the second tier before we get to the most likely. Somewhat likely, the Bills, the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Steelers, and your Chicago Bears.
I agree with most of it. I got to be honest. Agree with most of it. Buffalo can't continue to have as many injuries as they've had the last couple years across that defense, certainly as they did last year. So you'd think some positive regression or progression, as Jurko says, is going to benefit them. I buy all of it. Bears, I can buy it.
Mm-hmm. Most likely the Ravens, Browns, Chiefs, Jets, and 49ers.
And again, those all seem right. They do. And I think the Bears could sneak into that group, and I think they're appropriately placed amongst those different
three
categories.
of those teams gave up less than 300 points last year.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, which had them in the teens.
There you go. All right, Adam, what else?
We've gone through some Pro Football Focus stuff. Carm, you missed it yesterday, but Pro Football Focus ranked Caleb Williams as the 19th ranked quarterback in the NFL right now, which is the highest among all rookies. So today, they did the player most likely to bounce back from all 32 teams. Can you guess the Bears player?
To bounce back.
Have a bounce back year.
Was he on the Bears last year?
Yes. That would imply bouncing.
Well, no, I mean, like, Kevin Byard could be.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
guess, yeah,
guy could have a bounce back.
Yes.
But, okay, so he was a Bear last year. He bounced back.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't mean
Bounce
rookie.
back.
I didn't mean rookie, Adam.
Bounce back year. So it means somebody who achieved didn't achieve, and they expect them to achieve.
It is not Byard. So
It's not Byard. No. Yeah, that's why I meant, like, was he on the Bears last year?
Are they going with the linebacker Edmonds?
They are not.
Is it an offensive lineman?
It is.
Is it Nate Davis?
It is Nate Davis.
Nate Davis.
There you go.
Now, Nate Davis wasn't at OTAs again. Is that right? I mean, does it really matter at this point?
Sylvie had a real problem with that yesterday. He had a big.
He was not at yesterday's OTA, but Matt Eberflus said that everyone on the roster has been involved in some form of offseason program so far.
I did see
at
that.
House Hall. He said that everyone has been in the building this offseason. Also, yesterday wasn't mandatory. This week is not mandatory.
No, I know. It does seem a little odd, though, how much.
But I told him, don't talk to Nate Davis. Go talk to George McCaskey.
Yeah.
You say, why? So the owners negotiated the deal. They did not want to pay the players more money.
Yeah.
They gave them time off. And now they're taking their time off.
I guess.
And if you had time off, would you say no?
I
think I need to improve on do you take your time off?
I take my time off.
Why would it be any different for them? Why don't they deserve their time off if they got it? Is it voluntary? They said voluntary. What are we even asking if they're here for?
And it was voluntary.
Right. Sylvie doesn't like the word voluntary. Sylvie's voluntary is absolutely mandatory.
All right. Fair enough.
I go blame McCaskey, though. Go blame Jerry Jones. Go blame Robert Kraft. Go blame the people that are responsible for this.
Yeah.
So they'll tell the players, yeah, we want more time. And then they'll tell the coaches, no, we don't want time. We want him here. So put pressure on him. Bring him here. That's crap that they play.
I love it. Okay, what else, Adam?
Peyton Manning says he has one wish for the drafted rookie quarterbacks. He wants one of them to break his rookie interception record. Which quarterback he says he hopes it's not Bo Nix.
Well, of course.
Yeah. Which quarterback do you think is most likely out of the rookies that were drafted this year to break Peyton Manning's interception record?
It's not going to happen. It's like 28 interceptions.
It is 28 interceptions.
It won't be Penix.
No, it won't be Penix.
He won't have the opportunity.
I'll say JJ. I hate to be mean, but I'll say JJ.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's going to get broken.
I don't think JJ.
Who else?
Somebody else that's pressuring that.
Spencer Rattler.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels? Sam Howell threw a bunch last year.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go with Jaden Daniels.
All right, I'll ride with you, Jurk.
Yeah.
I'll ride with you. Jaden Daniels. Boom.
You want to say it or do you want me to say it? I think it could be Caleb.
Oh, I don't think it'll be
Caleb.
You guys, I hope not.
I think it could be Caleb.
He might play them. Well, I guess Daniels will start
I
all
don't
the games
think
too.
they're going to be throwing it as much as Washington is.
God, I hope not, Adam. Jeez, I hope not.
I'm not saying that he's going to.
I know.
I'm just saying if he comes out there and wants to sling it all over the place and puts up, I don't think he's going to throw 30 interceptions.
That's a lot of interceptions,
I understand
man.
it is.
I think it's going to be 540 passes to like 460 runs at the end of the year.
All right.
So out of the 540 pass attempts, I don't think he's going to break a record.
I don't think so either.
For attempts. No. For interceptions.
Truthfully, I don't think any of them will throw that many. So.
Well, the problem is that Washington threw 600 and some odd passes last year.
Right, and Howell threw like 20-something picks, didn't he? Didn't he have like 20 interceptions?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, anything else, Adam?
Yeah, finally, an interesting quote from one of Jurko's. Interesting quote from one of Jurko's favorite coaches. That's why it was very messed up. You try to say that.
Tough one to say.
Yeah, you try to say that
from
5 times
fast. Coating. Ooh, that's tough.
Sean Payton talked about splitting reps between Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, and Zach Wilson. We'll try to split up all the reps. There's going to be a time when you read into reps. I don't think it's early in OTAs. It's kind of the orphan group. They're all orphan dogs. They've come from somewhere, but they're doing all right. It's a good room.
I don't know what he's talking about, but okay.
They're all orphan dogs.
There's no ownership of any of the individual players.
I guess.
Yeah.
I love me some Sean Payton, so I don't know.
Except for the guy they drafted. Didn't they draft the guy? Who'd they draft?
Nix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're orphan dog except from the one.
Except for Nick.
That I wouldn't picked out. Yeah. That's my guy.
That one's not the
Not an
that
orphan
was
dog.
Shelter dog that I rescued. That's a rescue dog. That one's mine. That's like their Miss Peaches.
He had to deal with the hurricane down there. So there may have been a lot of abandoned dogs,
That's right, yeah.
Got caught up
in the hurricane.
Mike
North has the bonus play coming up next.